Amaru Quispe landed in Miami with $40 in his pocket and a bicycle with a broken chain. A delivery company turned him away that same week. They said he wasn't fast enough. 15 years later, Amaru signed the papers that made that same company his. Amaru Quispe was 22 years old when he arrived in Miami from Arequipa, Peru, carrying one suitcase, $40 in cash, and an address for his cousin Fernando's apartment written on a folded piece of paper. Fernando, 29, had been in the U.S. for 6 years, working 2 jobs to send money home while slowly building a life in a cramped 2-bedroom apartment in Little Havana that he shared with 3 other men. Amaru spoke functional but heavily accented English. He'd studied it in school back home, but nothing prepared him for the speed of real conversation, the slang, the impatience of people who didn't want to slow down for him. Fernando had an old bicycle in a storage closet, chain broken, back tire nearly bald. He gave it to Amaru the first week and said, "Fix this, and you can work. Delivery companies always need riders." Amaru spent his first 3 days in America fixing that bicycle, with parts scavenged from a hardware store dumpster and a $9 chain he bought with money he couldn't really spare. The following week, Amaru applied in person at Speedline Couriers, a mid-sized bicycle courier company operating across downtown Miami, delivering documents and small packages between offices. He waited 2 hours in the small front office for an interview. When his turn came, the owner, Diane Sorensen, 47, walked him through a basic time test: deliver a package 3/4 of a mile, sign the log, return. Amaru's English stumbled under the pressure of the timed instructions. He took a wrong turn on an unfamiliar street and lost almost 4 minutes. His total time was 18 minutes, 2 minutes slower than Speedline's cutoff. Diane told him, not unkindly but firmly, standing in the small front office with a clipboard in her hand, "I need riders who can move fast and communicate clearly with clients. I don't think this is going to work out." Amaru walked out of that office and sat on the curb outside, the broken chain bicycle now perfectly repaired, leaning against a parking meter beside him. He thought, in that moment, about turning back toward Peru. He had $6 left in his pocket. That night, Fernando found Amaru sitting on the apartment's fire escape, staring out at the city lights. Fernando said something simple, in Spanish, that Amaru repeated to himself for years afterward. "Nadie te dijo que no puedes entregar paquetes. Solo te dijeron que no puedes entregarlos para ellos." Nobody told you that you can't deliver packages. They only told you that you can't deliver them for them. The next morning, Amaru printed 20 flyers at a library computer, offering same-day bicycle courier service at a flat rate of $8 per delivery, cheaper than Speedline's $14 minimum. He posted the flyers at small businesses within a mile of Fernando's apartment: a dry cleaner, 2 law offices, a small accounting firm, a flower shop. He got his first client 3 days later, a small immigration law office that needed a document delivered across downtown by 3 p.m. Amaru made it in 14 minutes. For the first year, Amaru worked entirely alone, on the same repaired bicycle, taking every delivery request that came through word of mouth and a simple flyer campaign he expanded block by block. He worked 12 to 14 hours most days, sleeping on Fernando's couch, saving nearly every dollar beyond rent and food. By month 8, Amaru had 12 regular clients and had saved enough to buy a second, newer bicycle and hire his first rider, a fellow Peruvian immigrant named Hugo, referred by Fernando. Amaru named the company Quispe Express, printing the name himself on simple paper receipts he handed to every client personally. By the end of year 1, Quispe Express had 4 riders, 31 regular clients, and revenue of $61,000, against expenses that left Amaru personally taking home just under $19,000, more than he'd made in his first year, but still barely enough to call stable. In year 3, Amaru met Marisol Ortega, 25, at a small business association meeting for Miami's Latino entrepreneurs. Marisol had a background in logistics software from a previous job and immediately saw inefficiencies in how Quispe Express routed its riders. She joined as a partner with 30% equity, building the company's first real routing and dispatch system, replacing a system that had, until then, run entirely on Amaru's memory and a paper logbook. Within 18 months of Marisol joining, Quispe Express expanded from bicycles to a mixed fleet including small delivery vans, adding same-day freight services for local businesses that needed larger shipments moved across the city. By year 5, the company had grown to 43 employees and $2.1 million in annual revenue, still headquartered out of a small rented office 2 blocks from where Amaru had first fixed that broken bicycle. In year 7, a major client, a hospital network representing nearly 30% of Quispe Express's revenue, abruptly switched to a national logistics chain, offering lower rates through aggressive discounting. The loss forced Amaru and Marisol to cut costs sharply, including a painful decision to lay off 6 employees, the first layoffs in the company's history. Amaru personally called each of the 6, offering references and, in 3 cases, connections to other local companies he knew were hiring. It didn't erase the guilt, but it was, he later said, the only part of that period he felt good about. For nearly a year, Amaru worked deliveries himself again, alongside his remaining drivers, to keep costs low enough to stabilize the company without further cuts. By year 12, Quispe Express had grown to 190 employees and $18 million in annual revenue, having absorbed 2 smaller competitors along the way and expanded service into Fort Lauderdale and Orlando. In year 14, Amaru learned through a mutual industry contact that Speedline Couriers, the company that had rejected him 15 years earlier, was struggling, its aging fleet and outdated dispatch system losing clients steadily to more modern competitors, including Quispe Express itself. Diane Sorensen, now 62, had scaled back her role significantly and was quietly looking to sell before retirement. Amaru didn't pursue the acquisition out of vengeance. Quispe Express genuinely needed Speedline's established downtown client relationships and its fleet permits, which were difficult and slow to obtain independently. The acquisition closed at $3.4 million. Diane sat across the table from Amaru during the final signing, and at one point, she paused and said quietly, "I interviewed you once, years ago. I didn't remember your name until my lawyer pulled the old employment file during due diligence." Amaru said, "I remember exactly which minute I lost on that test. I took a wrong turn on 8th Street. Diane asked him, near the end of the meeting, why he hadn't mentioned it earlier in the negotiation. Amaru told her the truth. "I didn't buy this company to prove something to you. I bought it because it made sense for my business. But I won't pretend it doesn't feel like something, sitting here." Today, Quispe Express employs 340 people across 3 Florida cities, with Speedline's original downtown Miami office now serving as one of its central dispatch hubs. Amaru still keeps that first repaired bicycle, chain, bald tire and all, in his office, mounted on a simple wall bracket beside his desk. Being told you're not fast enough for someone else's system is not the same as being told you can't build your own. Sometimes the fastest route to where you're going runs straight through the door that just closed on you. If this story reminded you that rejection is sometimes just bad routing, not a verdict, subscribe to Unbroken Stories. And tell us in the comments, what door closed on you that you ended up building your own way through? We read every one,